What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another vintage Kenner Star Wars market update. This time we're focused mainly on loose complete figures, loose graded figures. I even have some loose complete vehicles in this one. I did sneak in a few mint on cards that sold here recently because I thought they were interesting sales. I've got a couple of channel housekeeping notes. First, thank you so much to Tony Rika. Or Rika, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. Tony is a long-time subscriber. He has been there since I had less than 100 subscribers. And he always comments on my videos, and he just recently became a Patreon supporter. And I just want to say thank you to him. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. You guys allow this channel to happen. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, it's patreon.com/actionfiguregrader. Next, I want to remind folks that if you have vintage Star Wars toys for sale, or you're looking to sell them without paying eBay fees and eBay taxes and all that kind of stuff, reach out to me by actionfiguregrader@gmail.com by email, and I'd be happy to set you up with a couple of buyers that are interested in purchasing items. They pay very fair prices, and it allows everybody to save money on eBay fees and on taxes and things like that. I've placed a number of very, very large collections this year, totaling many, many thousands of dollars. And you can reach out to me by email, and I'll be happy to set you up. I don't get paid anything by this. I just try to help people out. I don't really do any other toy lines or modern Star Wars stuff like that, but I do have many buyers that I know very closely, that I trust implicitly, that I can set you up with. Let's dig into some really awesome data. And here we go. So first of all, we've got a loose UKG 80% graded Princess Leia. What a gorgeous figure. This has the brand new case style. And let's see what the label says on this one. This was a Hong Kong figure. And this one graded, again, 80% by UKG. It was listed for £245. Best offer accepted, plus shipping on that one. I didn't look up the sales price, the final sales price on that one. I apologize. Some of the international stuff doesn't show up on the website I used to find the final sales price, so I did not look that one up. But just another data point there for those of you looking for a high-grade, loose-graded Princess Leia. She's a beautiful figure. That is a really nice one there. So congratulations to the buyer there. Now, this is one that a subscriber sent to me, and I apologize. I don't remember who it was. Folks, I get about 50 emails a day, all right? So, and private messages, things like that. So I don't remember names for everybody, so I apologize. But I have no idea what the deal was with this one. This was a loose, complete Stormtrooper, Hong Kong COO. So it's not like a Lily Letty or a PvP or anything like that. Just a standard Hong Kong. And it's advertised as mint, which it does. It looks very, very mint. And here's a close-up of that. It included the version 4 blue/black blaster. Look how beautiful that figure is. Now, it's a gorgeous figure, but the final sales price at auction, by the way, was $310. What on earth is going on here? I have no idea why this thing sold so high, but it did. That's what it sold for. And this seller is not like some shiesty weirdo. I mean, this seller has really nice stuff and sells pretty regularly here, and I've seen some nice items from him. So I don't think this is a case of shill bidding. I think this is a case of two buyers that just would not let this Stormtrooper go. They had to have it. But this price is just complete insanity to me. I don't know what is going on there, but this reeks of someone who is going to get it graded and keep it in their collection. It certainly looks like an 85 or even an 85 plus. And certainly we have looked at loose graded, high grade Stormtroopers. They are tough to get in an 85 grade because given the age of these figures, they're 45 years old, folks. So these Stormtroopers, especially yellow, and this one is not yellow, but man, that is just a really high price for a loose, complete Stormtrooper. I don't know what is going on with that price. Next up, we've got a loose graded AFA 80 plus original R2-D2. So this is not the sensor scope, but this is the solid dome Hong Kong COO. This one sold for $262 at auction, 37 bids. This closed on June 5th. I think this price is pretty fair, quite honestly. Vaults of Yavin always has nice stuff. And I have bought from Vaults of Yavin previously. And his prices at auction, anyway, are pretty fair. So I would look him up on eBay and keep him on your saved sellers list. I don't keep them on my saved sellers list because I'm always checking eBay for you guys, but you can click right here on that heart icon and it will save that seller to your profile, and you can check for new listings occasionally. But he always gets really nice high grade, loose graded Star Wars figures, and this one was no exception. That was a very tempting price there because I think $262 is pretty fair in the current market environment for a solid dome Hong Kong R2-D2. Here was an ungraded Baggie. This was the Hammerhead. This came in the Sears Cantina set. So nice factory sealed, heat sealed Baggie for Hammerhead. This one sold for $129.80. I think that price is great. Probably like an 80 grade Baggie. Just a lot of crinkling on the actual Baggie, but the ink on the Kenner made in Hong Kong writing there is in pretty clean condition. Here's another couple of photos for you. I would guess it'd probably grade an 80. It does have that factory hole right here. Don't be scared by that hole when you see that. That's a standard hole that was kind of applied at the factory to kind of keep the Baggies from being puffy inside the boxes for that Sears Cantina playset. But I think $129.80 is a great price for that one. Here was a loose graded UKG 85% PBP snaggletooth, red snaggletooth. So this is the Scar COO. As it's labeled here, you can see PBP, no COO, Scar, UKG 80%. So really nice high grade Spanish figure. That one was listed for 150 Great British pounds plus shipping. And I think that price is pretty fair. You know, that's a nice Spanish figure. Tough to find variant and really clean example there. This price, I wanted to give a little background on this one. This is an Orange Snake Yoda complete and nice condition overall. Certainly not mint. The first thing that I always look at on Yodas, if they're loose, ungraded, is the hands. And as you can see here, this has that wear to the hands. So this would probably grade at best an 80 or an 80 plus. It's got a little bit of wear on the feet. That's the second area I always look at. Now for reference, I picked up recently on Rebel Hideout on Facebook a loose, complete Orange Snake Yoda. And what's cool about the one I picked up is that the gimmer stick, which is right here, this is that little flashlight that he played with in the Empire Strikes Back scene. Mine is unpainted. So it's a factory error, unpainted gimmer stick that I picked up. But the figure itself was absolutely flawless, completely untouched, never played with. And I paid $185 for mine. So it's a lot. I paid it a lot, admittedly. But I'm expecting it to grade an 85 plus or a 90. And it was just kind of a cool variation, you know, having an unpainted gimmer stick. You know, is it rare? Probably not. But I just wanted to get another kind of weird variation for the Yoda. And as you can see here, here's the feet there. But, you know, this photo doesn't really tell the story on the feet. This one, you can see right here on the edges of the feet, it does have wear. So I think this would grade an 80. You can see some wear on the face as well. So keep an eye out. You know, I paid on eBay, on Facebook, $185 for a much more clean example with the factory error. This one sold for $150 plus $18 shipping. So after you factor in state sales tax, it's probably about the same price I paid. And so I think you can do better for loose, ungraded figures on Facebook if you are joining a lot of groups. And that's one of the things I've talked about in past videos, is that you can get better, more bang for your buck if you get loose, ungraded complete figures that are common, like Yoda. Yoda's a very common figure, especially this Orange Snake Hong Kong. It's not difficult to find. So and grade them yourself. You know, that's just my personal opinion on that. Now, if you got a really rare figure that comes up, and we got a couple that I'm going to show you here in a little while, you may not have a choice as to whether you get it graded already or not. But if you are a grader and you like to grade loose figures, and you're okay with sending stuff in and the interminable wait times that we have to deal with right now, at least here in the U.S., I think that it's much more economical to find them on Facebook, find loose figures on Facebook, on groups that you trust, like Rogue 5 Toys, or Rebel Hideout's another one. Rebel Hideout always prices his stuff a little bit high, in my opinion, but, you know, again, I found that factory error from him, and I bought a recent couple of baggies from him, so it's not like I don't shop with him, but you're going to be paying top dollar with Rebel Hideout. Rogue 5, I think you can often find figures at times for much less than on eBay, and I think it's worth doing them, getting them graded yourself. But again, it just depends on the figure. Now let's dig into some loose, complete vehicles. I think this is kind of an interesting thing to talk about. It's not something I usually talk about on my channel, but not everyone likes to grade stuff, and not everyone has to have super pristine stuff. They just want to add to their collection. And I recognize that. So I wanted to show you guys some loose complete vehicles. Here's the Slave One, 100% complete with the carbonite block. This one sold for $140, and it looked really clean. It looks like it's missing some stickers though. So just keep that in mind, that if it's how you consider it complete. Is the actual material and plastic complete on this vehicle? Yes, but you need to also factor in that this one has wear. I mean, look at the wear on that right there. A lot of wear on that, a lot of scratches on this. Now compare that one to this one. This one looks like it's got really nice complete stickers. Admittedly, it's not perfect, but it's pretty complete. It does have some rippling and curling at the top there on that sticker, but much more clean example. And this one sold at auction for $74 plus $11.15 shipping. That's a much better deal. That's basically half the price of the other one, and you're getting it in much better condition with more complete stickers and better condition stickers. So be patient, but they're out there. This seller also had an ATST that was advertised as complete, and it does look complete. Again, these vehicles are not perfect. You can see a little bit of yellowing here and there, just some general wear, but still it's complete. And it sold for $76 plus $10.57 shipping. That's a pretty good deal on a complete ATST walker. He also had the X-Wing fighter. Really nice, clean, white X-Wing fighter. This is not the battle-damaged version that came out later, but, very common problem is with the blaster cannons, the long cannons that attach to the wings, they curl. And this one has that problem. It also has yellowing on the canopy. So it's not perfect, but it was 71 bucks. So you can get some really nice, loose, complete vehicles if you're patient and you keep an eye out there. This one is the Snow Speeder. This one is complete with the box and with the instructions. So that's a really nice example there. That one sold for 100 pounds or 125 US dollars plus shipping. So another example there. This is a really nice one too. This was the Twin Pod Cloud Car Pilot with stickers applied, but it did include the insert as well as the box. That one sold for $130 plus $15 shipping. So just some data points there for those of you that can collect loose, complete vehicles, either with or without the box. There are deals out there, fair deals in my opinion. All of those were pretty good deals except for maybe that first Slave One. So, just got to keep an eye out. A couple of mint on card graded items sold here that I had to touch on. This is a 31 back A FX7. Beautiful example, AFA 80. It was punched, but it was a clear blister. This is the debut card, I believe, for FX7, the medical droid. The sub scores were 80, 85, 85. So a gorgeous example. It sold at auction for $1,012, free shipping. Very, very nice item there. And here was a Luke Skywalker in his Hoth battle gear. AFA 80 plus. Again, this was Valtzer Yavin, the seller. This one sold for $133.50. That is a steal of a deal, in my opinion, for a very high grade Luke Hoth. Very difficult to find him in high grade, just because those limbs oftentimes will yellow, and it looks like it's maybe having just a little bit of yellowing. It's got a little bit of damage to the binoculars on his chest there, as you can see. But it's still got an 80 plus, and that is a great deal. Free shipping too, so that's a really solid deal. Now, going back to my premise about buying figures that are loose and ungraded and grading them yourself, it may not be an option all the time. And this is a perfect example of one where it very rarely comes up, and I almost bid on this, and I'm probably going to be kicking myself that I didn't, but this was a UKG 85% IG88, but this is the Spanish POC, blood red eyes, as it's labeled on that on the UKG label. The paint applications for the eyes are much more red on the Spanish POC IG88 versus the standard Hong Kong or no COO. And it's just one of those figures that even loose on Facebook on like Echo base vintage variants, it commands this price. It sold for $436. That was a really good deal. That was a very, very good deal. I did check all the date stamps on this one because I was very seriously considering buying this one. I checked it against Javier Rui Lopez's Bible on the Spanish figures, and it matched up perfectly with everything for this figure. Oftentimes you'll see a little burr right here in the crotch area. That's another kind of thing that you'll see very commonly with those Spanish PvP IG88s. This one did not have the burr, but the date stamp and everything did match up perfectly. You can also see just a slight bit of yellowing to that torso versus the limbs, but give me a break. This is one of the more difficult Spanish Pock figures to find, so clean like this. And, you know, UKG 85% for $436 plus shipping. That was a very good deal. And again, I'm probably going to be kicking myself when I don't have this figure 5 years from now, and they're selling for $700 loose and ungraded on Facebook. But really good deal. A few 32 back Han Solos sold, 3 of them to be exact. 2 of them were the original Han Solo first 12 figure. This was an ungraded one with quite a bit of creasing on the card, as you can see on the right hand side of the front of the card. The crease goes all the way up, but it was unpunched with a price sticker. That sold for $401. Then you compare that to the AFA graded example from the same seller that had the FX7. This was a beautiful unpunched AFA 80. The scores were 75, 85, 80. Archival case, beautiful clear blister, and that one sold for over double. This one sold for $947.87. That was a great deal. I still think I would have paid that all day long if I had been in the market for a Han Solo, but great deal there. And then the final 32 back I wanted to show was this one. This was a Han Solo in his Hoth outfit. Beautiful clear blister, unpunched with the price sticker. That one sold for $360 and change there, plus shipping. That's a great deal. It did have some wear to the blister, as you can see, some dings there. Probably a 75 plus grade because of the wear to the blister. You maybe eke out an 80, but I think given the wear on the back of the card there on the left-hand side and given the damage to the blister, it's probably a 75 or 75 plus. But still, $360, you can't beat that price for a clear blister, 32 back Han Hoth. Same seller also had this one. This is the 41 back survival kit offer, 41A, for the Hoth Rebel Commander. You can see some wear to the face there, which is very uncommon inside the blister, but it was a beautiful clear blister. It was punched with no price sticker. That one sold for $274. $274. Just a little bit of a ding on the blister there, but I think that probably scores a low 80 is my guess with AFA or CAS or UKG. So pretty good deal though. $274.99 is a pretty darn good deal for a very high grade 41 back. And then the same seller also had this one. This is the Survival Kit Dengar. It looks like a clear blister to me. It was punched. It did have some wear to the card back near the hang tab on the right-hand side of the front of the card. But a gorgeous, gorgeous example of Dengar. It did have a ding on the blister, probably a 75 plus grade. That sold for $255, which again, documenting several Dengars that sold on Hakes here recently. $255 is a steal of a deal for a clear blister Dengar. I would have taken that all day long. Great price there. Here was a 77A back, AFA 85 yellowed blister, Leia Organa in her combat poncho. Very nice, clean example, unpunched with no price sticker. That one sold for $291 plus $14.75 shipping. Again, if you can live with the yellowed blister, which this one was obviously heavily yellowed and factored into the final sales price, but if you can live with a yellowed blister, this was a fantastic deal. Congratulations to the buyer there. A couple of last 17 before we wrap up this video. This was a CAS 85 plus Barada. That one sold for $395, best offer accepted plus shipping. And then finally, we had an AFA 80 Lumat on the Power of the Force card. It was yellowed, obviously, but that still sold for $355. I've seen Lumat sell for that ungraded loose by itself. So I think that price was pretty fair for a high-grade, admittedly yellow blistered Power of the Force Lumat. That's all I really had for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.